Guys, when I turned 56, I realized something that completely changed my life. I started distancing myself from many people, not because I hate them, but because I want to protect my inner peace. At this age, peace matters more than status, more than money, more than anything I once chased. I realized that avoiding toxic relationships and negative people is the only way to keep my emotions and my mind steady. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly why, after 56 years of living, I now choose peace above everything else. And you are watching Next Chapter 50, where the second half of life becomes a brand new beginning. At the age of 56, I have realized that peace of mind is more important than anything else. When we are young, we often chase money, status, or outside achievements and believe they will bring happiness. But as I grow older, I understand that none of those things can compare to the sense of calm that comes from within. Inner peace is like a solid foundation that allows me to live each day with ease, no longer being carried away by meaningless worries or pressures. To preserve this, I have had to learn to stay away from toxic relationships, negative people, and situations that only bring stress. In the past, I tried to maintain those connections out of fear of loneliness or the need for attachment, but I realized that every encounter left me drained and unbalanced. Now I understand that by avoiding those things, I am giving myself the chance for emotional stability and mental rest. Choosing peace is not selfish. It is a wise decision to protect myself. At this age, I would rather hold on to inner tranquility than exhaust myself trying to please others. Peace of mind is the most precious gift I can give to myself, and it deserves to be valued above everything else. Time is an invisible yet priceless treasure that I have come to feel more deeply as I grow older. In the past, I could easily waste hours on pointless conversations, shallow relationships, or activities meant only to kill time, but I no longer want to live that way. I now understand that every moment that passes will never return, and its fleeting nature makes time more valuable than any material wealth. With age comes the awareness that my time is limited, and I must use it wisely. I have started to remove what is unnecessary, avoiding troublesome situations and people who only bring negativity. I do not want to sacrifice my inner peace just to maintain superficial ties or chase fleeting pleasures. Instead, I choose to invest my time in what nurtures my soul and brings genuine meaning. It might be a loving conversation with family, a peaceful morning walk that helps me reflect, or a book that opens new perspectives. I have learned to cherish even the smallest moments, for they weave together into a meaningful life. Time has taught me to value quality over quantity, depth over excess, and intention over habit. More importantly, it reminds me that living consciously every single day is the best way to ensure that when I look back, I will not be filled with regret but with gratitude for how I spent the moments I was given. Health is the foundation of life, yet often it is people themselves who become the source of pressures that weaken the body. I have realized that my exhaustion does not always come from work or age, but very often from the stress of dealing with negative relationships. Stress affects not only the mind but also the body, making it more vulnerable and increasing the risks of illness. Many do not notice how conflicts, harsh words, or the constant strain of being in a toxic relationship leave marks on health. The heart beats faster, blood pressure rises, sleep becomes restless, and over time the door opens to dangerous conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, or hypertension. As the body ages, it becomes harder to resist these invisible pressures, and the only way I can protect myself is by keeping distance from people and situations that bring harm. Avoiding them does not mean being cold or indifferent, but rather making a necessary choice to preserve health and maintain inner balance. When the mind is at ease, the body also finds recovery. I choose to slow down, to listen to what my body is telling me, and to keep my space free of toxicity, because health is the most precious gift I have. I know that if I want to live fully, I must not allow stress caused by others to destroy me. Support the channel with a like and share. Write 1 inch, the comments if you found value, 0 if you didn't. Self-development is a journey that never truly ends. And at this stage of life, I feel an even stronger desire to live for the things that truly enrich my soul. I want to spend time pursuing personal interests that I once had no chance to explore, to experience new things that broaden my perspective, and to learn knowledge that helps me grow a little more each day. For me, solitude is not a sad loneliness, but a positive space where I can focus, create, and nurture inner growth. In those quiet moments alone, I can listen to my inner voice, write down new ideas, challenge myself with a new skill, or simply allow rest to restore my energy. Of course, I still believe in the importance of helping others because offering support and love is an essential part of life. Yet I also know that I can only give when I am grounded in peace and strength within myself. That is why I need periods of silence, days of stepping back from the crowd, to care for my own well-being first. When I am nurtured and whole, I am able to share positive energy and true value with those around me. Personal growth is a journey of balance, a harmony between giving outward and returning inward, so that every single day carries meaning and moves me closer to living a more complete and fulfilling life. As the years go by, I have come to realize that drama is one of the biggest thieves of peace, energy, and emotional stability. I no longer feel the need to get involved in unnecessary conflicts or meaningless arguments that only drain my spirit. Life has taught me that investing emotions into other people's drama is never worth the cost, because no matter how much you give, the situation rarely improves and often leaves you feeling exhausted. I have learned that there are people who thrive on chaos, who look for opportunities to pull others into their problems, and who seem to feed off conflict. These so-called drama queens and drama kings create storms around them and expect others to get swept up in the mess. At this stage of my life, I simply refuse to be part of that cycle. I understand that my energy is limited and precious, and I want to save it for meaningful relationships and experiences, not for endless battles that bring no growth or resolution. Avoiding drama does not mean running away from responsibility or refusing to care about others, but it means setting clear boundaries about what deserves my attention. I choose calm over chaos, clarity over confusion, and peace over noise. By keeping myself away from drama, I protect my emotional health, safeguard my time, and allow myself to live with more focus and intention. This choice gives me the freedom to build a life that is grounded, steady, and truly my own. Positive solitude has become one of the most valuable discoveries of my life, a space where I can truly connect with myself without distraction. Being alone gives me the chance to pause, reflect, and look inward, something that constant noise and company rarely allow. In this quiet, I can dream freely, imagine new possibilities, and lay out plans for what I want to create or achieve. Solitude fuels creativity because it opens a space where ideas can rise without judgment or interruption, and it gives me permission to think beyond limits set by others. When I am by myself, I no longer feel the pressure to conform to outside expectations or to perform for an audience. I can live in alignment with my own values, listening to my inner voice instead of trying to meet demands that do not reflect who I am. This makes the time spent alone not an absence of life, but a powerful way of restoring energy and purpose. Positive solitude is not about isolation or loneliness, but about creating a sanctuary where the mind and heart can recharge. It allows me to return to the world with clarity, strength, and a deeper sense of who I am. By embracing solitude, I find balance between action and rest, between giving to others and giving to myself. It is in these moments that I feel most authentic, most creative, and most alive. Because I know that being alone does not mean being empty, it means being whole. Don't leave quietly. Hit like and drop a comment. Peace if you feel calm, storm if you feel restless. One of the most important lessons I have learned with age is the need to set financial boundaries and protect my personal energy. Some relationships, even without bad intentions, come with financial pressure. There are people who constantly ask to borrow money, expect you to spend in ways that match their lifestyle, or push you to join activities that drain your resources. Over time, this creates not only stress, but also a sense of obligation that steals both freedom and peace of mind. By avoiding unnecessary connections, I gain the ability to manage my finances more clearly, choosing where and how my money is spent without guilt or external influence. Protecting financial boundaries is not about selfishness, but about respecting myself and ensuring stability for the future. Along with money, energy is another resource that must be guarded carefully. Social interactions, especially when frequent or demanding, can leave me drained mentally and emotionally. I have learned to notice how much strength it takes to engage in conversations, maintain appearances, and respond to endless requests. If I do not protect my energy, I end up too exhausted to invest in the people and activities that truly matter. That is why I intentionally limit my circle and choose where to place my attention. Preserving both finances and energy gives me the freedom to focus on meaningful experiences, genuine relationships, and goals that enrich my life. Boundaries are not barriers. They are tools that allow me to live with balance, dignity, and a sense of control over my own journey. As the years pass, I have come to accept that the social circle I once had naturally becomes smaller, and I no longer see this as a loss, but as a necessary part of growth. When we are young, friendships are often born out of circumstances rather than true choice. We meet people at school, we bond with coworkers we see every day, we connect with parents who share the same activities as our children, and many of those people become part of our lives simply because of proximity. These relationships are not always built on deep understanding, but on shared environments. As life changes, those circumstances fade. Children grow up, jobs shift, routines change, and many of the ties that once felt essential begin to loosen. With age, I have realized that this shrinking circle is not something to fear, but something to embrace, because it allows me to focus on quality rather than quantity. I no longer feel the need to maintain a wide network just to feel connected or accepted. Instead, I treasure the few relationships that bring genuine support, honesty, and warmth. A smaller circle gives me the freedom to be selective, to invest my time and energy where it truly matters, and to avoid the superficial ties that only drain without giving anything meaningful in return. There is a certain peace that comes from not having to spread yourself thin across dozens of acquaintances and instead nurturing the few bonds that truly nourish your soul. Aging has shown me that friendship is not about how many people surround you, but about who will stand with you when it counts. I accept this change with gratitude, knowing that fewer but deeper connections create a life of richer meaning and more authentic companionship. Avoiding people does not mean hating them. It means choosing to protect my own mind, body, time, and energy so that I can live with greater clarity and purpose. Over the years, I have learned that constantly surrounding myself with others, especially those who bring negativity, pressure, or unnecessary drama, takes away far more than it gives. By stepping back and creating distance, I am not rejecting humanity, but rather preserving the parts of myself that allow me to show up in the world with strength and kindness. I have come to understand that peace of mind is fragile, health is finite, time is short, and energy is not limitless. Protecting these resources is not selfish. It is wise. When I conserve them, I can give more fully to the people and causes that matter most. That is why I no longer seek a large network or endless social interactions, but instead choose to prioritize genuine connections. Relationships built on sincerity, mutual respect, and true support bring far greater value than dozens of shallow acquaintances. I now look for bonds that lift me up rather than wear me down, for conversations that inspire rather than drain, and for people who share values of kindness and honesty. This shift has allowed me to live with more balance and fulfillment. My message is simple yet powerful. The younger you who learns to care for your body, mind, and heart today is the one who will take care of the older you tomorrow. Every choice you make now, from the relationships you nurture to the boundaries you set, is an investment in the life you will live later. By honoring your well-being in the present, you ensure that your future self will not only survive, but thrive. In the end, it is not about how many people you have around you, but about how well you have cared for yourself along the way. Hit subscribe if you want more content like this. Comment more if you're ready for the next one.